Hmm. I'm trying to figure out, can this show, can you see this? So can you see this? So when it comes to so when it comes to okay, I am on the Gitonga Rushiami screen. So now if I switch to the Winfred Ngonju screen, can you see it? Okay, I am on the Kitanga Rishiami screen. So now if I switch to the Winfred Ngonjo screen, can you see it? I've picked the second option. I'm on the Kitanga Rishiami screen. If I switch to this screen, can you see it? This is exhausting. Pick the second option. I'm on the Kitanga Rishiami screen. If I switch to this screen, can you see it? Okay, second option. Okay. Let me tell you, these recordings are hard because lights keep coming and going. Technical difficulties, but anyway, let's see if we can. Like, lights have just gone, come back, so I had to stop the other recording. So if I've started in a weird place, it's because I have had like 40 minutes of no lights. So that's what we're saying. You need to sit down, break down your audience. We know this product is good for men and women, but we need to break down each of these audiences into smaller audiences so that they can be easier to reach, so that we can speak their language easily and within our budget. So we know that this product is good for women. So we'll go to ChatGPT and then we'll ask for its help. So I've included some prompts here for you. You can use either one of these prompts. And in fact, I suggest you try a mix of them to see which one of them works. But I'll just copy one. So up here, where there's peeling off mask for women, or for, just replace this with your own product. Replace this with your own product and audience. But so we'll take a prompt like this, paste it, and then we'll let ChatGPT help us generate the list of audiences that we can generate. Okay, let's see this. Imagine we are marketing a peel-off mask for women. How many types of women need this product? And we can market to list down as many audiences as possible. So ChatGPT, instead of just grouping all women, you can actually speak to women based on their skin concerns. You can speak to women based on whether they have acne-prone skin, oily skin, women with dry skin, women with dull skin, aging women, women with sensitive skin, women with combination skin, women with hyperpigmentation. You will have a lot more success if you speak to each of these women directly instead of lumping them in one group. Yeah, because acne prone women, yes, there are women that will need this face mask, but if you speak their language, if you trigger them, if your content is triggering them with and it's talking about the kind of problems that they're going through, you're showing that you understand them, these women are more likely to pay attention because your content, your ads, your marketing actually speaks to their actual problem. It's not just grouping all women together. And that's the beauty of sitting down to break down your audience. So this product can be used by women based on their skin concern. We can market to women based on their skin concerns. We can market to them based on their lifestyle and habits. Yeah, busy professional and career women, stay-at-home moms, teenagers and even teenagers and college students should not be grouped together. Fitness enthusiasts, brides to be, yeah, luxury skincare buyers, budget conscious shoppers, eco conscious and vegan beauty enthusiasts, by events and occasions, new moms and postpartum women. So you see, it's one whole group of women, but if you break it down, you'll actually realize that you have what 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 28 groups of women that we can be speaking to. Yeah, so that's the beauty of breaking down your audience instead of, and that's the thing I notice a lot of business owners struggle with. They lump their audience into one, they market to them in the same way, and then they struggle to understand, I don't understand why we are not making sales. Or they've seen a new business who's come in, who's actually sat down, really taken the time to understand their audience, and then they see their social media taking off, they see their content taking off, and they're like, how is it that this new business, they found us here but they're doing better than us? It's because they've actually sat down and figured out their audience, that their content is not just speaking to everyone, it's speaking to a specific group of people, addressing their specific needs and concerns. That is what makes people stop and pay attention to you on social media. In a sea of all the content, people will only pay attention to content that relates to them, that affects them. It's just like you. When you're scrolling on social media and see an ad for lawyers and you're not a lawyer, you'll just simply swipe up and scroll. If you see an ad for men's shoes and you are not interested in men's shoes, you'll just swipe. It doesn't affect you. Haikuhusu. So why are you stopping to look at it and read the information? It's the same exact thing. Yeah. If you want people to pay attention to you, you have to be super duper specific. So we are going to copy that audience and then we are going to list it here. So in general, these are the groups of people, these are the groups of women that we could be speaking to. But even acne prone women, you'll realize that this group is still even too large. Oily skin women, it's still a large group. So we are going to take it and then we are going to tell ChatGPT to break it down even further. Yeah, there's a prompt here. There's a prompt right down here. So you pick an audience, pick a group to focus on. Like now I've decided for me, the group that I want to focus on, I think there are a lot of people, a lot of women, a lot of women suffering from acne. So acne prone women is a very good group to start focusing on with my marketing. But I feel like this acne prone women, it's still even a large group. So I want to break it down into an even smaller group because I want to speak the language of this. I want to fully understand the exact audience that I am speaking to. So I'm going to say, let's start with this audience. And there's a ChatGPT prompt here that you can copy or use or read it and then try and make yours your own. So let's start with this audience. Now, the audience for me, it's acne prone and oily skin sufferers. Yeah. These are people constantly dealing with clogged pores, blackheads, and blackouts. So I'm going to tell ChatGPT, there are many groups of women that fit into this audience. Break down this audience even further. So you copy your prompt there, and then let's see what ChatGPT breaks down. So you see this audience, it's large, acne prone and oily skin sufferers. But if you break it down, you'll realize that there's an even smaller group, people who have acne because they are suffering from hormonal issues. Then there are people who have acne, but it's because they are teenagers and young adults. Then there are women who are over 25 years who are struggling with acne even after their teen years. Then there are cystic acne warriors. These ones are people who deal with painful, deep-rooted breakouts. Blackhead and whitehead fighters, maskne victims, sensitive skin types, combination skin warriors. So now you've decided that this audience, instead of creating audience for all women, yeah, we are going to create content. We are going to create content and marketing specifically for women who are suffering from acne. Yeah, and you can say for this month we want to concentrate on women who have hormonal acne, and then for that month only you create content for women suffering from hormonal acne. And then for the next month you decide we're going to focus on teenagers. And if you do this, you will never ever run out of audiences to market to, and you will never run out of content to create on social media for your audience to keep attracting them. So we are going to copy what ChatGPT has generated for us. This is the first group that we want to focus on. Step 2 says pick a group that you want to focus on. Break down this audience even further. So this is where we'll put our answer. Our first group that we're going to try and market to is women suffering from acne. Then once we finish, say for the first 3 weeks of March, we are going to create content for hormonal acne sufferers. For the next month, teenagers. For the next month, women. If you do it that way, you will realize not only is content creation easy for you, yeah, you will be creating content that actually speaks to your specific audience's needs, and that is what is going to attract them. So once you break down your audiences, pick one that you're going to focus on, and that is what I want you guys to do it properly. Yeah, in the next class, that's what we're going to focus on. I'm going to check if each of you have broken down your audiences into the right segments. Yeah, once you break down your audiences into the right segments, then we can go on trying to build this buyer persona. Yeah, so let's say out of this group, yeah, by acne types and skin by acne type and skin concerns, for the first month, for the next month, let's say we are going to concentrate on hormonal acne sufferers. So we are going to take this group, yeah, and then we are going to try and figure out step 3. We are going to try and figure out their demographics. We're going to try and figure out their psychographics, the most important ones being these women who are suffering from acne because of hormonal acne sufferers. We want to find out their demographics, which includes their age, their location, their marital status, their gender identity, their psychographics. And psychographics, the most important ones here, we want to know these hormonal acne sufferers, what do they want? What are their wants and what are their desires? What is frustrating them? What are their frustrations right now, currently where they are? What are their challenges? What are their pains? Because if you can figure out all these things, if you can figure out their wants, if you can figure out their frustrations, if you can figure out their pains and challenges, if you can figure out which questions they have in their mind, then you can create content to position our face mask. You see, to position our face mask as the answer to their wants and their desires. Yeah, as the answer to their frustrations, as the answer to their pains and challenges, as the answer to their questions. Yeah, so that's the next thing that we need to do. We've decided that we are going to focus on our audience. We are going to start our content, our social media marketing, by targeting people with acne, and specifically we are targeting people with hormonal acne, people who suffer from hormonal acne, and these are women dealing with breakouts due to menstrual cycles, pregnancy, and PCOS. So we are going to copy this audience. Then we are going to move on to step 3. We want to find out their demographics, their psychographics, their wants and their desires, their frustrations, their pains and challenges, and their questions. So we'll head back to ChatGPT, copy this audience, and then we'll say, we've decided to concentrate on this audience first. Please list down their demographics. And then when listing down their demographics, you specifically want to include this information: their age, their location, their marital status, and their gender identity. In this case, we know that they are women. We are targeting women. And ChatGPT will help us age groups. These are the different age groups of women suffering from hormonal acne: 18 to 24. Young adults experiencing hormonal fluctuations due to puberty and early adulthood. 25 to 34. Women facing persistent adult acne, often linked to stress, lifestyle, or early motherhood. 35 to 40. Women dealing with hormonal shifts due to pregnancy, postpartum. You see, these are very different women. If you speak to a woman, you can't create one ad to attract and then expect it to convert all these 3 groups of women. Yeah, that is where most people fail with their marketing. That is where most people fail with their content when it comes to social media. Yeah, and then their location, there are those who are living in urban and suburban areas, there are those who are living in rural areas, there are those who are living in regions with high skincare awareness, and then there are those who are living in commerce. And then women, they can also be single, they can be married, they can be pregnant and postpartum women. Yeah, so now we are going to copy this, and we are going to need this information when it comes time to running ads. Yeah, remember, social media marketing involves 2 things. It involves organic social media marketing, which is where you you create content, and then you hope for the best. You hope that the algorithm will take the content to the people that you're creating it for. You hope that the algorithm will take that content or will deliver that content to your intended target audience. The other way is through paid means. Yeah, and these days you almost always have to have a paid strategy for growing on social media, especially if your intended goal is to make sales, right? So we are going to use this information. It's going to come in very, very handy when it's time to start running ads. But also, yeah, it will also help us visualize the audience that we're speaking to. Next, you want to figure out their psychographics. You want to figure out their wants and desires. So you're going to do this step by step by step. Don't do this all at the same time, because if you do this all at the same time, ChatGPT will not give you the answers that you need. It will not give you very, very good answers. So do this step by steps. You want to find out the wants and desires of these people who are suffering from hormonal acne. So you're going to tell ChatGPT, I want to find out the wants and desires of hormonal acne suffering. Please list down Please list down the wants and desires of this audience that we are trying to talk to. Hormonal acne sufferers. List down as many wants, desires as possible and use I statements. Because we want to enter the heads of our target audience. We really want to understand them, and if we know their wants and desires, we'll use these wants and desires of our target audience to actually create messaging. Like how you run into a YouTube ad and then the messaging says, get clear skin in 3 to 5 days. It's because these marketers have actually sat down and then they've figured out this is what our audience wants. You need to figure out what it is that your audience wants and then speak it in your marketing every chance that you get. So it's very, very important. So they want clear skin. Our audience wants clear skin. I want my skin to be clear and free from breakouts so I can feel confident without makeup. Knowing that, don't you see that it is so easy that at the end of your ad, I say, do you want skin? Buy bamboo charcoal mask if you want your skin to be clear, free from breakouts, and feel confident without makeup. That is something that if someone is suffering from hormonal acne and they hear this message, ping, they're going to pay attention. But if you just say, wear this face mask, wear this face mask perfect for women, they're not going to pay attention because you are not actually speaking to their needs, their wants, and their desires. So this part is very, 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 very important. So they want clear skin. They want relief from hormonal acne. Specifically, I want to stop breakouts that occur right before my period. So I don't feel frustrated or self-conscious. You will never know this about your audience if you don't actually sit down and do the research, and knowing that my audience wants to stop breakouts that occur right before their period so that they don't feel frustrated or self-conscious. This in itself is an idea for content. I will sit down and explain to them, give them tips, give them hacks, give them ideas for how to stop breakouts that occur right before their period. Explain why these breakouts occur right before their period. Invite a professional to explain, to talk to them, to give them tips, to give them. Every time you do this, when you create content that speaks specifically to your audience's needs, to their wants, and this list right here to their frustrations, to their pains and challenges, to their questions, that is what will attract your audience on social media. And because we have such a large audience, remember this audience that we are starting with, hormonal acne sufferers, is just one audience. If we decided to, we can concentrate on this audience for 6 months and make sure, let's make sure that we attract as many hormonal acne sufferers as possible for the next 6 months. And then when you're done with that audience, you move on to the next audience, teenagers and young adults. And then you create content for them. And then you move on to the next audience, women with acne. I am telling you, you will never run out of audiences to market to. And you will never run out of content to create on social media. This is why this step is so, 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 so important. And you will never go to any digital marketing interview and they do not ask you about audience research. So it is so, so, so important that you get this right. Practice it with as many products as possible. Practice it with as many services as possible until you get it right. Try doing audience research for car sales. Try doing audience research for a salon. Try doing audience research for men's products, for women's products. The more audience research you do, the better you get at it, and the better you get at audience research, you'll become a star at marketing, because everything in digital marketing, everything in marketing is about the audience. So if you do not understand your audience, then you're not doing any marketing at all. You're just doing busy work. So this step is very, very, very important, and it is very, very important that you get it right. And I know a lot of you struggled with this last time. That is why we are going through it. So when we meet in class, we'll go through each one. If you feel like you're struggling somewhere, we'll go through, and then we'll go through the audiences that you have come up with to see if you are on the right track. Once we figure out your audience, the next thing that we'll do is we'll create a strategy for reaching them on social media. And creating a strategy is just basically, we need to create a content plan. The only thing that will reach your audience on social media is content, and you need to create content that speaks to their problems, their wants, and their desires. So we are here doing psychographics for these women who are suffering from hormonal acne. So these are their wants and their desires, and we'll use this is very, 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 very important information that a lot of business owners and a lot of social media marketers don't do. So the fact that you're doing this and the fact that you're going to get good at this will make you better than most of the social media marketers out there. So this is a very, very important step that you cannot skip. Yeah, so we are going to use this. I want to change the color so that I can show that these are my answers. So these are their wants and their desires. We're going to use this to create messaging that speaks to our audience's deepest wants. And then we are going to use this to create storytelling, to create an emotional connection, because stories are what makes desires relatable and personal. I'll show you how we are going to do that when we start creating content. So we know their wants and their desires. Next, you will tell, we need to figure out their frustrations. So next, we need to figure out this audience's frustrations. So this is the audience. I'm trying to create for you your prompts here so you can copy paste. So you can copy this prompt to help you come up with your audience wants and desires, and then copy the same prompt to come up with their frustrations. Copy the same prompt to come up with their pains and challenges, and then their questions. And then I'll show you what we are going to do with this information, because it will come in very handy when we need to create our content strategy for social media. So yeah, so we'll put these prompts through here. It's frustrations, here it's pains and challenges, and here it's questions. So this is how we are going to use this information. The answers that we come up with here, the answers to their wants and their desires, the answers to their frustrations, the answers to their pains and challenges, the answers to their questions. The answers to these questions will determine our marketing strategy. How will we do this? Where will we reach these people? When are we going to reach these people? And then the answers to these questions, more importantly, will determine the type of content that we are going to create. All the answers that we generate from here is what will help us create content that actually attracts and converts our audiences. So that is what I need you to do after you finish watching this video. Yeah. Step 1, even if you had done this last year, just do it afresh. But instead of doing it for, let's say, and for Wega Wellness or for Gloera or for those brands, try and pick different brands. And if you haven't picked the brands that you are supposed to do, I'm going to assign them to you for you. But I would rather you pick a niche, an industry. Let's say, I want to be a digital marketer for a hospital. Pick a hospital or a clinic and then do that audience research. Or say, I want to be a digital marketer for a dental office or for a lawyer's office. Think big. Do the audience research for that, because this audience research is also what you're going to put into your social media marketing portfolio. So yeah, that is what I want you to do for this class. Yeah, sit down, pick a niche, pick a brand, pick a product, pick different from what you had done last year. Yeah, then step 1, figure out, when we look at this product, who can we mark? Who can we sell it to? Is it suitable for men, women, or both? Yeah, if it is suitable for both genders, we'll do audience research for male, and then we'll do audience research for female differently. Then once you pick a group, male or female, yeah, you will use ChatGPT to help you break down this audience. Women is too large. Women aged 15 to 20 is too large an audience for you to market to and speak to the same way. So you're going to need to break it down into, this is my answer, you're going to need to break it down into a smaller audience. You're going to need to break it down into a smaller audience. And even when you break that into a smaller audience, women into different audiences, then you're going to take one of those groups. Yeah, step 2, pick one group and focus on, and then break down this audience even further. All the prompts that you need to use, I've listed them in blue. They're highlighted in blue. Yeah, and then the next thing that you're going to do is step 3, list down the demographics. Yeah, you're going to pick one of the groups that you have. Pick one group to focus on, then list down their demographics, then list down their psychographics, list down their wants and their desires, list down their frustrations, list down their pains and challenges, and then list down as many questions as possible. And then I am hoping that by the next class, you'll have the answers to these questions. And then if you don't have the answers to these questions, we'll go through each one of you step by step to make sure that you are on the right track. And then once I'm sure everyone is on the same page, we can move on to the next thing, which is creating content strategy. Hopefully we can be done with this by Friday. That is the goal. So that is your assignment, is your audience research. I will share this document in the group so you can answer the questions.